Peace. This is Brother Jason with MFS Professional Workforce Services and Achieve 365. I'm the Director of Programming, sitting in for the Workforce Wonder Woman, Brittany Powell. She's out sick, unfortunately. She's not here. But I'm excited to do this because I get to interview one of my favorite people, Mista Meana from PNC Partners in Crime. This man is a legend in the city of New Orleans, a wonderful brother, and we're gonna hop right into what it is. But he has a new book out called Untold: The Story of an Unknown Legend. If you haven't gotten it, you need to go get this. But it's an interesting read about brother's life. But Meana, how did you get into music?
Well, I got into music. I was inspired by music at a young age. What made me want to do music was I went to a Raising Hell concert in 1986 or something like that with some guys from Holly Grove, and I saw Run DMC perform, and they did My Adidas, and I saw the power of hip hop at that moment once they made everybody put their shoe up, and when I saw the crowd react to what they were saying, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like I was gone right there.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you. So I met Meana years ago. Before I first knew you from your music first,
Right.
but I was there, man. This was 2000. I think we were touring. So I used to do security back in my former life, and I was doing security for Mystical, and PNC was opening for Mystical.
Right.
This had to be 2000 because I know in '99 2000. But you always been humble despite being so popular and successful with the music, especially in the city.
Right.
How you kept that way? You've never been an arrogant person. At least I've never seen it all my time in there. How you kept that mentality to be so chill?
I always looked at what I do as a job. I feel like I put my pants leg on one leg at a time, just like every other man. So I never let uh, the fame of whatever, take me off the course of who I really was. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always, I love the underdog, and I came in the game as an underdog. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I just kept that within my spirit, and I didn't allow the fame, the cheers, to kind of like change that in me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just stayed humble with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood I'm no different than no other man. It's just a profession that I chose to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, so many youth in our community, that's the title of our show is Money Talks, Message of Opportunity and Networking to Empower Youth. And so we speak to young people and we want to know if so many youth in the community want to be rap artists or they want to be in the music industry. And since you've been so successful in music for such a long time, and you've traveled the country doing music, you've been all over the world doing music, what advice would you give to youth that want to get into the music business?
Well, first of all, I would say if it's something that if it's not something that you have a passion for, it might be not what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because music is something that people gotta kind of like buy into, and everybody don't buy into what you may be doing at the time that you may be presenting it. You know what I'm saying? But so if you don't have a love or a passion for it, you'll get discouraged with it because it's not a hustle. Is really still a business, and a lot of people tend to try to hustle music besides use it as a music business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and if you come in it and you have a passion for it, there's a way that you can make money with it. You know what I'm saying? Because your passion will lead you to, getting the money.
Awesome. So many youth also they when they see from the outside they see the gold chain or they see the nice car, they see all this flash and they see people shouting your name and loving you. What is something about music that they're not gonna see until they get into it that you kind of tip the warm about? Like, look, this is not all funny games.
Well, it's the music business, the way it's designed. What I'm saying it's a to me it's a form of slavery. The way it's structured, especially in this day and time. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to pay you. When I entered the game, you could sell CDs, you could sell actual product, but now it's about the streaming world. So it's real confusing on how you get paid per stream. It's like a tenth of a penny down there, you
Right,
know.
right, right.
So uh, when people come into it, you know what I'm saying, they don't understand that side of it. They think if they just make a song that their life will change, but it's a lot of stuff that comes with it on the side of business. Like, and before you get paid, you know what I'm saying, these companies or whoever you work with, they got to get their money back. It's called a recoupable. I mean, a recoup.
Right.
And they got to recoup their money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the money that they advance you is only like to set you up to get, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you don't really make nothing but what they advanced you on, if you didn't supersede,
Right.
the expectations of what they, put into you. So that's what people learn in the long run. They find out that these contracts are not what they seem to be, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And those small trinkets that they give you up front don't never compare to the hard work and the labor that you have to put in to actually maintain that.
So, in the music industry, and how important has it been building relationships for you to be successful? So, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, the type of the character you always displayed, treating people right, being fair and honest. How has that the relationship you build help you be successful for so long?
Well, mainly being fair with people. Most people tend to remember that, like, in the long run, and then it's like the word of mouth thing. People would, if you do good business with somebody else, they'll refer you to somebody else, and then that's how things start going, and you wind up building relationships throughout your journey by good people, speaking good about your name that makes other people want to work with you,
Right.
and that's usually how it works. But if you do bad business, people start putting out a bad reputation on your name, like, oh, you don't do good business, they don't show up, they're not prompt, they're not on time, things of that nature will make somebody else that's interested in maybe doing business with you will be like, nah, I ain't gonna deal with them because I heard that they do bad business, they don't show up all the time, things of that nature.
Right. Makes sense. So, like, you're author now, you do a podcast. Um, you've been able to do a whole bunch of. I mean, you're talented, and I mean, naturally gifted. But I mean, you work on your craft. I've seen that. The time it's on you to be successful, to continue to work on what you're doing. But you've added so many different things, so you're not like a one-dimensional artist. Like all I do is rap. Let's say you wrote a book, you do podcasting. How important is it for youth or people that's coming into the business to have multiple streams of income or multiple ways for them to make money off their talent?
Well, it's like this. You do something that brings some notoriety to what you're doing, and then you find something else that you have some type of love for or passion for, and then you just present that to the same audience of people. And if they love you for one thing, they'll probably open their ear or, be open to see what else you got to offer, and that's pretty much what I did. I just like other things. I like merch, so I sold merch. The book was a bucket list. I felt like I had an interesting story, so I wrote a story. I feel like I could speak well, so I did a podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just more things that you feel good about yourself, that you know about yourself, and then you just jump into the field and you try it. And if it work, it work, and if it don't, you find something else you like and keep it moving.
For sure. Now, how important has it been to for you to be successful to accept like certain failures? Because like that's one thing a lot of youth who we deal with don't understand that everybody don't just hit off the first lick and then all of a sudden you ruin. You got to still keep persevering through. So how has failure helped to make you more successful?
I call it failing forward because I don't look at my L's as a loss. I look at it as something I learned. So if I made a mistake with something and something didn't work, I backtrack. I look at everything all over and then I approach it a different way. Especially if I love it and it's something that I like doing, I just step back and be like, I think I did this wrong. Or, then I start reaching out to people that's have succeeded in those fields. And I try to pick their brain and find out what they did. And then I try to add that to what I'm doing. And then I take a step back into it like forward.
Awesome. I want to read a quote out of the book that we have, and I want you to elaborate. Well, it's a quote from the Bible, but there's something that you put in your book, and it says the Bible says, "It shall be done unto you as you believe." Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's like belief. If you believe you can't, then you can't. If you believe you can, you can. And I think anything that you're trying to do starts off with a belief. And I see that as being true. People that really say I don't believe I could do that. That's the answer. You can't. If I believe I can do it, then you just put your good foot forward and go with your beliefs and move forward on it. So
Awesome.
that's how strong belief is, at least to me.
Right. Well, ain't no doubt. I mean, well, like you've been able to demonstrate because people still mention when they mention New Orleans music, they mention part of the crime, part of it, and y'all have done something where y'all ingrained yourself into the culture of New Orleans and everybody. I mean, and it's because it's not just because obviously it's also good music, ain't no doubt about that. That's the
Right.
first part, but it's actually but the way you brothers have always carried yourself and y'all work ethic. And I was blessed to see it up close and personal. But you all took your craft real serious. And there's a lot of times I think some people don't maximize their potential because they don't put in the work. They'll have a talent, but they don't put in the work behind the talent. So then you only can go so far. When you have a talent and then you couple that with work, you get to be successful. And I think that's what you brothers have been really, really been able to do.
Yeah. Work ethic plays a big part with being successful. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a great work ethic, success you probably never obtain it. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a work ethic to try to like to put the work in to get a result out of it. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to put the work in, but they want some results.
For sure. So I got a couple more questions. Like I know you and Kang are still good friends all this time. So many people, there'll be groups when group gets some success, they fall apart. They don't know how to keep. But y'all still tight. So how did y'all maintain your relationship?
From the beginning, man, Kango developed a brotherhood, and you in the Nation of Islam, you understand about brotherhood, and we hold each other accountable, and and we deal with facts. So Kango can have a perm, I can have a perm, but what we do is we put the facts on the table, and then we go with the facts. So if I say this happened, this is the facts. This was this is what this is, and he can't out top the facts on what I'm talking about, then we go with what the facts is. And that's how we keep it cool because we're two individuals. So he have his way, I have my way, but we kind of, deal with the facts to make a decision. And then that's what kept our bond so good.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad. I'm absolutely glad because I so many times you hear it and people, you got this iconic group or brothers who've been able to accomplish something, but they can't. We have these old stories. Yeah, then you find out all the bad stuff now, oh man, and they're not friends, but they've done something spectacular. But I think it's important because I know, and we were talking about this like before we started about success, and people have a bad understanding sometimes what success is, and if you can really do what you love to do every day. You don't have to be a billionaire because you're really free because you have the every day you go to work, you're not going to work because you love doing it, and that's something that But when you develop friendship, you get to keep working with your friends because what's next? Are you all still touring?
Yeah, we still do shows every week. So if you call that touring, then that's what.
Well, right. Y'all somewhere.
Yeah, every week.
Some place doing performing.
Yeah, I got a show tonight. Got a show tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. So do y'all ever plan on releasing any new music?
We going two different ways in music, and I think that's maturity amongst me and his brother because he wants to do music a certain kind of way. I want to do music a certain kind of way, and it's not a partners in crime thing. So until we can come back on one accord to do partners in crime music, then we maybe do it. But as of right now, he got some things he want to get out, and it's not the type of music I want to make. So we're not branding that as partners in crime. That's Kango. Right. And if whatever I'm doing with music, it'll just be Mista Meana. But if we want to do partners in crime, we just have to get on back on one accord with doing music. You know what I'm saying? It's never no problem. It's just more like a conversation with some understanding behind it, and that's where we at because we up in age now. We got things that.
Well, you've been doing it for so long. Yeah, y'all been doing it for years, and then growth, and that's one. But that's another thing that people that I like love about you, brothers. But in just in life, growing, just because a person changes and a relationship is different, don't mean it then fell apart. Right. That's what growth is all about.
Yeah.
You can't be the same person at 40 that you was at 20, or then you wasted 20 years of your life.
Yeah, because where your growth at,
right?
Where you're going at, I think the biggest thing with us is that we never liked, because Partners in Crime probably could have been in a bigger light for us in the world, but we never wanted to compromise our integrity. And the industry like wants to compromise your integrity. They want you to do things that they want you to do, and if it's not morally right to us, we're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So we've canceled a lot of deals due to knowing things. Sometimes we know more than we should know. So that's what some people would say, boy, y'all getting your own way. I'm like, nah, I'm not mad that I know. It's not my fault that I was educated about something. Like, so when I tell somebody I want to keep my publishing and I want to keep creative control, and they saying, well, no, you can't have that, then it's not a deal for us.
Right.
And so that's what me and Kengo was at throughout our whole career, was on one accord the whole time about mainly what we stood for. And off of what we stood for, if a deal didn't come off of that, then we just didn't. A deal wasn't for us,
But what I like about that concept and that mentality is, but you always go to sleep at night and you can look at yourself in the mirror. You don't never feel compromised. And like you say, oh man, well y'all could have been big like Jay-Z and then you man, but then if you can't sleep at night, what good is all this? And there's a saying, in the Quran it says, what is the profit of man to gain the world but lose his soul?
Right.
Like if you could get these things, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be happy.
Right.
And that's one thing people we try to tell the young people in particular, because they have their whole life ahead of them. Listen, decisions you make now are going to affect what's happening in the future. But you don't ever want to compromise yourself, because you always want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and then accept it with it. But if you're earning a living and making your money and raising your family, but you can look at yourself in the mirror, you won.
Right.
And you don't need 34 calls to say you won.
I tell people this, you don't have to live with nobody, but you got to live with yourself. You're forever living with yourself. You're always, as long as you got breath in your body, you're going to be in this particular avatar, right? So, if you can't live with that, you're living as a hell for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how I look at it. And every day I wake up and I brush my teeth, wash my face, I'm still proud of the man that I am, regardless to any things, jewelry, cars, things of that nature. I'd be like, man, I know that I still see me. I don't look in the mirror and be looking like, who am I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's got to be the worst life to have. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
And I feel King will feel the same way, so I can speak for him on that level because we talk about it a lot. So, that's the ultimate thing.
Well, Brother Meana, I appreciate your time, my brother. Again, this the book here, Untold, the story of an unknown legend by Michael Mista Meana Patterson. Where can they get the book?
They can get the book, I have a website that they can get it on. It's called Shop Graffiti. That's ShopGraffeetee.com. Or if they, comfortable with shopping other places, it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Noble, Walmart, things of that nature.
Awesome. Well, the book is wonderful, man. I appreciate your time again. And then this is Brother Jason for Money Talks. That's methods of opportunity and networking to empower youth. We're at 2020 Jackson Avenue. You can also sign up for our tutoring program. You can call 504-314-0615 or go to www.mfsuccess.org. But thank you all again for tuning in. And thanks again, Brother Meana, for coming on to the
All right.